Hey, Soul Tribe. I'm KamalaDevi,
And I'm Michael McClure.
and we want to offer you a relationship practice tool for intimacy today.
It's called the Relationship Evolving Dyad.
And this is a tool that comes from Charles Berner's Enlightenment Intensives. And this is actually not only enlightening, but designed for connection and intimacy. And we specifically use it. We've been together for 22 years.
Mhm.
And a lot of partners who, uh, when they ask, like, what's the secret to successful, sustaining, very passionate relationships, it's always having intimacy rituals.
Mhm.
So we have a lot of different, tools in our medicine pouch, but this is like a power tool.
This is the one that we use all the time. We've been using it for years and years. And it comes to mind like whenever we were like maybe stuck a little bit and we don't know what to talk about or whatever, we go to this one. And the nice thing about it, it's all about positive stuff and all about bringing us closer together, all about some of the vulnerability and revealing ourselves as well, but all in a positive way.
Yeah, as opposed to some of the tools that we have, which are when you're in conflict or when there's withholds. Like, this is a way to stay current with your partner so that there are no withholds.
Mhm.
And also, a lot of times we're afraid to reveal ourselves because we're afraid of our partner's reaction. And this way you get to share what's in your heart without having to worry about, like, oh, how are they going to react? It's very sweetly contained. What else would you say is like a why?
Sometimes we use it even if we're in a bit of conflict or wobble, and we use it to get us to a better place before we dive into those other practices.
Yeah, like raises our vibration.
Yeah.
And uh, it avoids small talk and boredom.
Yeah. 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 Especially for, you can use it with new relationships as well. It's beautiful for that. If you've ever wondered, like, how do I not do small talk? This is a great way to not do small talk.
Yeah, if you're sick of the same old stories or the getting to know you spiel. But it's true. You can do it with new relationships, long-term relationships like this with your mentors or with your, it's also a good coaching practice. So we're going to go ahead and model it. And afterwards, we'll give you some tips on how to get the most out of it.
And so there's 3 questions, and we'll go ahead and model it. But the first question is, tell me something that you like about me. Second, tell me something that you think we agree on. And then tell me something that you want me to know about yourself. So here we go. Tell me something that you like about me.
I love your sense of humor. You you keep me laughing, and in a way that's like, it feels like every day at some point I'm laughing, and that's going to keep me young.
Thank you. Tell me something you think we agree on.
Mm. Mm. Parenting. I'm very fortunate to have like so much alignment around, how to raise Devin, especially since he's in his last year and college applications are really stressful. And I just I feel we agree that our job is to help him be himself, and that we're both just supporting him, revealing who he truly is. Yeah.
Thank you. Tell me something you want me to know about yourself.
Well, I'm having some feelings about leaving, on this trip, and I'm used to having some mother guilt, but particularly feeling, uh, I guess, resistance about missing his application deadlines and missing Thanksgiving with the family. Like, that's the hardest part, is like being away during the holidays. Yeah.
Thank you.
Tell me something you like about me.
I love just how creative you are. You're always like creating new rituals and new altars and just like all the magical things that you've created in our relationship.
You tell me something you think we agree on.
I think we agree that um, that yeah, this life is really about love. It's not about accumulation of shit. And that the way that we do that is to really get into that deep, like spiritual place of love. Yeah.
Thank you. Tell me something about yourself that you want me to know.
Um, yeah, I'm really excited right now about my music. Like I have some new breakthroughs in like production, working with Logic Pro that are super exciting for me. And it just feels like I'm moving forward and like I've been stuck for a while, but this past week it feels like I'm loosening up in that.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Tell me something you like about me.
Thank you. We're going to pause here. And normally we would go through those same 3 questions from Michael, to which I have no crosstalk, no response other than thank you. And then we would just continue back and forth in this way for a minimum of 20 minutes. So it's really important that, when you're doing this practice, that you start off by setting a timer, creating a space where you're not distracted, where you can really practice active listening. Other notes on how to do it?
Well, you can go as long as you want, but really a finish point is when it feels good, or if you feel, both of you have gotten this kind of even number of back and forths.
So Charles Berne teaches it that it's a 40-minute practice. 20 is an abbreviated version, but I really encourage you to set a timer. And even though you might be like, okay, it feels very like it's never redundant. It feels like a little bit like a Groundhog Day, same questions, but surprisingly different results every time. It spirals deeper.
Yeah, it sure does. And if you're doing it with somebody who's new to the practice, the way that I introduce it usually is I'll say, hey, I'm going to ask 3 questions, and then you're going to ask me the same questions. Don't worry, I'll coach you through the questions, so you don't worry about it as you're answering, up front.
Yeah, you might want to just, if you're doing this with a partner, show them this video.
Yeah,
they'll get a sense of it. And it is, so I want to make a big distinction. This is not just a communication, like, oh, here's an icebreaker. This is a deep spiritual ritual and practice that, when done in repetition, can open a channel that feels like an oracle. It's called Relationship Evolving Dyad because it genuinely allows you to not take your partner for granted. And you can actually start getting curious, like, who are they now? And they are going to evolve, and we get to learn about each other. And that way it doesn't get stale or old.
And it never does with us, even after doing it for as many years as we have, there's always something new, so yeah.
Yeah. So the couple other fine-tuning notes are that you may not want to, like, the first question, tell me something you like about me. Don't just list everything. Choose one thing, elaborate on that one thing until it's complete. And every time you're answering any of these, take your time to really feel what's true right now, and only share to the degree that it's alive. And then when you're complete, you're complete. But don't hesitate to be in silence, to take your time. We, of course, just modeled one round, but sometimes it's, you're really just holding space. And that's part of the beauty of this practice, is me being like, my partner's actually putting their attention on me, letting me be in the inquiry. And they're not problem solving, they're not troubleshooting, they're not trying to fix me. So no advice giving throughout this practice.
Yeah, and you don't want to go back and forth. Like if you're saying something about yourself, and when it comes to the next round, the other person is replying to that, you don't want to do that. Just keep it fresh, keep it about what is happening with you. It's not a tool for resolving conflict.
We have other tools for that.
Yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure to share this with you, and I hope you enjoy. And then in the comments, let us know how it went, or if you have any questions. We look forward to sharing more in the new year.
Yay.
Blessings.
Blessings.